All right, guys. Good to see you. Let's get this done. I know we got to get Bruce to Gentle Ben's. Yeah. Obviously, thank you guys for coming out. Here we go. I mean, things are going to start rolling from here. And, for a coach, it's great to, have an opportunity to celebrate your team with the community and all that stuff. But, honestly, it's also good to get this on film. And then, the real burning and churning kind of starts from here. So, I look forward to, we're taking tomorrow off, but I look forward to getting back out there Sunday and kind of figuring out where we're at and starting to break things down and build them back up.
Barlow said that there's a lot of competitiveness. Tonight showed it during the time, even in practice. It's been very back and forth.
Yeah.
You must like that?
Yeah, obviously, the more competitive practices are, the better. And, I think we got a good group with good balance and good numbers. So, you're able to maybe, get after each other a little bit more and maybe get some more live, realistic reps. So, I think hopefully that'll really bode well for us this season.
Jason, go ahead.
As the head coach, what's the biggest thing you take away from tonight? Is it what you see on the court, off the court?
It's a collection of all. I don't think I have like a instruction manual on how I handle this thing, but the simple observation I made is, when we tried to play maybe to add a little extra to it or maybe kind of force the highlight, we didn't turn out well, which is great for a coach because, you can remind your guys, usually, an accumulation of simple plays is better. And I thought when we kept things simple for the most part, we looked really good. When we, maybe, tried to dunk on somebody, some superhero type play, it didn't work out as well. So to me, that was one of the biggest things that I noticed overall is just, when we kept it simple, we were better.
Brian, go ahead.
You mentioned during the summer, and KJ kind of said it here before, that maybe he's been overlooked, underappreciated or something. How long do you think that's going to last?
Well, we'll see. He's a freshman. He's done well. He seems to kind of have been on a steady, kind of a upward trajectory, and that's a credit to him. I'm sure, some bumps are in the road are going to come as a freshman, but he's a extremely high character guy, and his care factor is really high. So, I think he's well positioned to have a really good freshman year.
David, go ahead.
Umar was raving about KJ's defense. What are you seeing at that end, and how can that translate for him into games? And also with Paulius, it looks like he has a real nice quickness on his jumper. How do you feel about him?
Yeah, well, we'll start with, KJ. KJ, one of the things I love about KJ is, I always, say he solves problems with effort. And that's a great thing to have because you can bank on, high effort. If you're a high effort guy, you can bank on that almost every possession. And so, he plays kind of with a relentlessness that I think is going to be infectious for our team. For Paulius, he's a really good player. I think he's, like a lot of European players, he's kind of finding his way over here. And we haven't had, too many moments where we've scrimmaged, for that length of time, this year. So it's good for him to get in the flow of the game and feel it. And I'm sure we go back and film, there's going to be a bunch of things, we can help him with. But he's never lacked confidence on the offensive end of the floor, which is, he kind of has that, that scores mentality where he forgets his misses pretty quick and he's able to kind of, keep on plugging away.
And then with the Pac-12 ending after the season, there's a lot of historic rivalries that are coming to an end. What's your opinion on that?
I'm not going to get emotional about it because it's happening. And so, I'll probably have a better opinion for you as we get closer to those things. But, honestly, my mind right now is, I know it's going to probably be boring for you, but breaking down this film and planning a practice Sunday and hopefully executing it well and getting better. That's, I'll deal with the Pac-12 stuff when it comes.
Troy, go ahead.
Obviously, what you have out of Umar, but what did you see from the bigs behind him tonight, and what did you learn about them?
Well, I thought Krivas did a good job impacting the game. It felt like, he got fouled a lot. I think, he's going to learn this system and kind of understand where he can assert his will. I think, you know, I don't know if it was him or his team, but, you know, I think maybe he had some opportunities to, you know, carve out an established position a little earlier in possessions. And, you know, I don't know if he got fatigued or, you know, a little bit of game slippage. Probably both things happened. And, you know, but when he was around the action, he impacts the ball, and he's a big, strong guy with great hands and an incredibly high IQ. So, I mean, I'm excited about him. You know, Henry's, you know, had a good camp. You know, obviously he didn't get to do much with us this summer with his ankle injury. And so I'm excited where he's going, and you know, I think he's going to really build into a steady player. Dylan's been, you know, made solid progression, you know, and I think he's continuing that way. And then Keshad, you know, it's fun to watch him. I mean, I think he made 3 threes today, and you know, I'm not sitting here saying our season hinges on how well he shoots threes or doesn't shoot threes. You know, I think we can win a lot of different ways, but to see him do that could be a little added dimension for us. So I'm really, really pleased with those guys as a group, and you know, obviously, you know, they're an important part of what we do. So I think they're going to create a lot of advantages for us.
Steve, go ahead.
What do you see from Phillips' potential? One, and obviously he can shoot it. He did what he did tonight. Not sure he didn't play much, but you can see that he has something.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips is a good player. You know, I think Phillips is one of these guys. Like he's, you know, I mean, I think he has an ability to be one of our, if not our best shooter. But you know, I think he's got to kind of settle into that role a little bit. You know, he also has a nice IQ, and he's a creative passer. So I think sometimes he gets stuck in between those things a little bit, and you know, which is okay. I mean, I mean, a lot of really good players do more than one thing. You know, but I think this, you know, at his size and his ability to shoot the ball, when he kind of understands the added dimension that gives us, I think that'll really help him out. But I love where he's at, and you know, I appreciate him for, you know, he's a freshman who, you know, last year he kind of fought through a tough year, and he's back here, and he's had a positive attitude, and he's a great kid, and you know, I really respect him as a person and a player.
Doug, go ahead.
Tell me, if I could just take you back, when you first came here for the first time for this event, just what was your reaction? Was it what you thought it would be? Did it exceed your expectations?
You know, my first one, I don't think it was. I think the attendance was obviously the lowest it'd been, and I get it. You know, I mean, I come here, and you know, I wasn't. I was maybe a little bit of an outside the box hire, and you know, I mean, they were coming out of COVID and a lot of things there. So, you know, but it's fun to see it build, and I honestly think, you know, I know in my mind, I think we're just starting to scratch the surface of this event, and I think, you know, the next years, I think we can really make it something special, and that's something we've been talking about behind the scenes, and you know, I'm happy with how it went today. I'm happy with how our fans supported it, but you know, I also know this, you know, we're in real talks for bigger and more exciting things, and going to make this, you know, a can't miss event for the community.
I was just wondering, did you think about switching guys in the second half, and why did you decide to stick with that, or you know, is that different this year?
We had 27 options on the board, Bruce, and I just was. I don't know. No, you're right. We did talk about switching it, but once it played out, I kind of didn't realize it was a 14-point margin. But then I also wanted to see that team battle back, and you know, I mean, I would like to. I know our guys. Later this week, they want to do it again behind closed doors with the same teams. I mean, and I like that. And you know, there was really no crazy rhyme or reason to how we put together the teams. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, you know, Jack Murphy loves, you know, playing football general manager or whatever that game all those people play, and he loves, you know, kind of putting the teams together. So I kind of let him handle it, and you know, I didn't even know what the teams were when I walked out on the court, to be honest with you. So.
I just wondered, because you had a lot of your kind of key guys in the second half the last 2 times, and I wondered if you didn't need to do that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have more depth right now, so I felt like, you know, we can let those 2 teams battle it out a little bit. And maybe sometimes in the past, you know, you want, if you know you're pretty much kind of locked into 6, 7, 8 guys, maybe you want to play together, you know, under the lights, and get a feel for that, playing together under the lights. But I think we got a lot of options now, so. You know, I was excited to let those teams battle it out, and we'll continue to do that in practice.
If you can talk real quick about the guys coming back, you know, you had guys who rarely come back, Bibby, Miles, Andre, special guys, and then obviously the 2 guys who were hosting the show. Just your thoughts on having them
Well, it's
back.
awesome. I mean, like, you guys are well aware of, the basketball lineage that's come through Arizona. So to have those guys, engage or re-engage with our program it's very important. And, I understand, the honor it is for me to have this position. I understand that, I probably won't be at Arizona for 50 years. Hopefully I'm here as long as they'll have me. So, while I'm here and, I'm kind of, the leader of the program, I want to make sure those guys feel honored in every way, shape, or form. So it's really cool to get them back, and hopefully, we're just scratching the surface with their involvement in the program.
How did that process go? Did you get involved in that? Because it's probably as many that have come here at one time.
Yeah, not much. The promoters that ran the event did a good job doing that, and of course, Jack Murphy and Jason Gardner do a good job doing that. So, we were hoping a couple other guys were coming, and then just one or two things happened and kind of didn't allow it to happen. But that's something that's really important for us, and I would like to continue to build that. Getting those guys back here and celebrating them, and hopefully build more events around it, and just making it a special opportunity for the fans. We had a really kind of cool VIP reception before, where some people bought these packages to do that thing, and it was really cool. I mean, just to see how excited the fans were to see Jason Gardner and Richard Jefferson and Channing, and it was really cool. And to have Andre come back, who's just a crazy special guy. And then, Miles, I thought he had the line of the day, kept his hand raised. How many of us won a national championship? That was really cool. And Mike, to come back here. And then Eugene actually met for the first time today. And, I'm proud to be running those guys' program. And that's how I look at it every day. It's their program, and I'm going to do the best job I can with it.
Last one here, Bruce.
KJ said he got Umar to sign off on that dunk. I didn't know. Did he have to ask you? Do you like seeing Umar?
Yeah, I had a couple questionable calls. Say that one, and then the latter, I was really kind of I thought, didn't we have the time limit go off on the setup there? I don't know. And I was just like, oh my God, we did something. Please don't happen bad. But I've never seen anybody head the ball in the basket like that. That was pretty cool. So it was fun. It was fun, and to have those guys do it. And, I thought the 3-point shootout was good. I thought the dunk contest was great. And, I thought the guys played pretty well too. And I think, hopefully if we did this again next week, we'd play a lot better. That would be my plan. All right, guys. Have a great night.